And boy, does Barnabus need an angel. Greetings and welcome to Die Drug and Die presents the Grimstone Chronicles Season 2, Episode 56. I am your DM and host, Marty, joined by the full Ontario crew. Let's get Adam's picture in there and get their microphones turned up. They are now hot, hot, hot.
Hot, hot, hot. Da, 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 hot, hot.
Greetings.
Hello.
My audio might be off because I did have to move my microphone.
It's fine.
So I don't know.
You sound fine.
You sound fine. You sound
Perfect.
baritone Adam as
I can't hear him. You gotta yell, buddy.
Ahmed's fucking loud. Okay.
Oh, I am loud? Hold on, maybe it's my mic.
No, just don't touch it. I fixed it.
Yeah.
Let me just mess with
Two
my
people
settings.
both fiddling with the same settings.
No!
No. Stop it. What have you guys been up to since Thursday? I haven't seen you since then.
During work, I was like, last Thursday, I'm like, I'm going to get a new monitor because I decided that my monitor was like the cheapest $90 panel I could get at the time when I was broke coming back from China. Like, I was broke and I needed a thing that could display text. So I'm like, I'm going to go buy a new monitor.
Nice.
And I had a meeting that was like going to be long and slow, so I'm like, I'm just going to take this meeting from the cell phone, drive over to Canada Computers, go and say like, I want a nice monitor and I have this much money, and I just give me a nice monitor.
Normally, that's not how you negotiate.
This is how.
Oh, that much money! Wow.
Oh, that much money. So I got.
It's the same monitor. They just took more money.
They just took more money for it. Yeah. No, it's so I have a new monitor and it is glorious. It's
nice.
Really nice. I'm
nice.
It makes a big difference. Like my monkey brain was like, of course you need a good keyboard and a good mouse. How else are you gonna play games? The monitor didn't like factor into like the stupid monkey part of my brain of like how you interact with the game is important. How you see it is very important.
Adam's like, oh, that's what you guys look like.
Geez.
We're not all like pixel art on his screen.
Yeah, no, color depth was one of those things where I'm like, oh, look at that. Oh, that art is so nice. I didn't realize it was like 15 more shades between those two colors.
Nice.
That's a gradient. I didn't know that.
Ahmed, what's going on with you?
Actually, I've been organizing the house, doing a lot of, went to Home Depot, got a bunch of stuff. Maybe repaint. Don't know if I have time.
So like,
it's a reference to old school. Nope, can't answer you right now. Then we're done. Nope, maybe time over. And then I left this with the kids for 5 minutes.
I was like, to your cradle.
Yeah.
Oh, this is funny. I was like, all right, guys, check this out. You grab one end, you let go, and it goes boom, 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 boom. 2 minutes later. Dad.
This is why we can't have nice things.
It's funny.
My precision physics experiment for desktop toy. I tried to clank the balls together real hard.
I think that's just a metaphor for parenthood in general.
Right, you can't have nice things.
You can't have nice things. No. Everything will be broken. broken, stained, tarnished.
Littered, bedazzled.
So, did I tell you about the new couch that we got?
No.
We got a new couch about less than a year ago. And my wife was like, this is the one I want. And I'm like, that is like light gray suede. That isn't going to keep itself clean. That is just ridiculous. We got 2 dogs. And what are you nuts? I'm worried about my ass sweat that has stained the couch. So we were using the couch, and for 6 months, we got this call from the company that sold it to us. And we're like, what do you think of the couch? How did it work? And I'm like, this thing's amazing. I couldn't believe that the dogs can't make it dirty. The thing is freaking godlike. Do you know what I found out? At night, my wife cleans the couch. So when I I just thought that the material he just like brushed in and it got clean.
You remind me of that commercial where it's like, I have this magic table. It's Australian. Yeah, I put stuff on it and it just disappears.
Yeah,
Like, you idiot.
She dedicated every night, a few minutes every night,
to keep the couch clean
To
because she
keep the
wanted
couch
this
clean.
color.
for the next 10 years to say I wasn't wrong.
Right, exactly. I am not going to burst that bubble. This is all coming up
I wouldn't
aces
either.
for Adam. So.
I wouldn't
And
either.
you
The
should-
couch is
yeah.
there.
You should compliment out of the middle of nowhere, like, yeah, this is just amazing, just to keep.
It'll just be funny when you actually get rid of the couch. You say, "Well, hon, aren't you glad you don't have to clean that when I go to bed every night now?"
It's just one of those. It came up in conversation where I'm like, "This couch stays really clean," and she was furious. She was like, I cleaned the couch. Like, what, really? I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I probably shouldn't have told the people that sold it to us that it's really good and robust to dogs and we don't have to clean it. because actually we clean it all.
We have a recording of this person.
That's pretty far right there. Mark, what's new with you?
Not much. Just got back from my mom's. My niece was there. Apparently, she didn't have her nap today, so it was quite the tantrum because she was crying because she didn't want to go home. And when asked, well, then did you want to stay at grandma's? No, I don't want to go. I don't want to stay at grandma's. And it's like, well, it's kind of in a lose-lose situation here, kid.
Well, that sounds like emotion plus one, logic
Yeah,
minus one.
exactly. It was. And then she was crying because her nose was running, and it was like, okay.
It's basically
Time
she
for
was
me
in
to
a
go.
cranky mood and tired and would have cried at everything.
Oh yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have taken much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my afternoon.
Shh, go to sleep. All right, why don't we
For
do
me,
a-
that happened simultaneously between the two screens. It was like, this is the solution.
why don't we do a recap what happened last game? Let me pull up the the write-up. So last game was called Red Smear.
That was awesome.
I made the mistake of him going. Anyways,
He was going to be vindictive for a second.
yeah, it came down to the initiative roll, really.
He wanted to throw 150 friggin' acid damage at us, and then
Brennos, Cog, and Slake get their bearings following the explosive battle with the Ghost Lord. Brennos speaks to Mago, a cloud giant, about the situation at the Cloud Castle, which they will likely deal with tonight. Barnabus is escorted to Hell to receive treatment for his condition. We will back up just a few moments in the few moments Barnabas has before he is escorted into Hell. In the Dragon's Lair beneath the castle, Rezmir and his cultists pay a visit, leading to a final showdown between the Wormspeaker and the Steelrose Expeditionary League. I think we will start tonight with Barnabas's visit to the Pentad Medical and Wellness Center. I spent a couple hours today creating tokens and maps. I'm so ready for this.
Nice.
Yes.
Are we in the hospital bed?
In addition to the...
No, it's in this one. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. All right. So Barnabas, if we recall,
Hospital. There we go.
teleported into the basement of the Bellefonte Tower, which has this gigantic, endless pit of the plains and a device upon it. In previous encounters in the Bellefonte Tower, Barnabas realized that this place can be angled in such a way that it can open up gates to not just one plane, but to any of the planes, making this a masterful and very interesting and important device indeed. Barnabas, not quite knowing the ritual, sort of half-assed it, but did such a great job at doing so and using a focus of the materials made from a book that was penned in Hell, not just by any devil, but by the Chancellor and Chief Record Keeper of Hell, Adrammalech, a close servant of the Lord of Hell, Asmodeus. Using this book, Barnabas was able to open a gate, and by getting something like 70 on his use magic device check, opened a gate not to the top layer of hell, but to the bottom layer, which is the personal hell lorded over by Asmodeus himself. He got the direct attention of Adrammalech. Curious in its own right that you did so. Barnabus does know that he signed a contract to gain Aemon's service. And you're pretty sure that Aemon's company serves Adrammalech, and he was the ultimate end, the top devil that would have benefited by Barnabas's, or might still benefit by Barnabas's death. I.e., your soul would then be consigned to hell. Adrammalech is basically staring at Barnabas's current condition, or at least Barnabas has told him about the thing around his neck. You do notice as Polly is trying to hide in your robes, she has gone back into your skin and is trying to hide from all of the devil guises. I don't know if you have her like out at this point in time, but she is trying to hide.
No, she's like never out, basically.
There are other things that are shuffling their way through the pit. They are an interesting trio of... Give me a knowledge planes.
Okay. I'm going to save some of my 20s for... So I do get 10 of
It's
these.
going to be a long night.
Oh.
Of what the hell is that?
Sorry, I had Polly open for some reason. Auto aid from Polly. 57.
These strange devils with horns growing from their back, draped with all sorts of contracts and scrolls written in blood. They seem to be quite relaxed, though. They have very muscular physiques and are wearing blood-red togas. They kind of slowly come shuffling out, and they bow to Adrammalech, and there are, sitting upon their horns, a single imp each. You know that these things are called contract devils. They're the proper name for these things are Fistophilus devils. They are effectively the most effective devils at providing infernal contracts to mortals. And because you got over 50, Mark, you can go ahead and read the devil contract entry. The part that I want you to read is the infernal contract.
The binding contract?
No, the infernal contract.
These are the ones that have like the once per year thing, right?
The infernal contract is probably the template that Barnabas used when he was 6th level to gain Aemon's services. The typical use of infernal contracts, you would gain evil wishes or an infernal slave or servitor, and Aemon would definitely fit into the latter category of servitor. And that basically Barnabas gave up his mortal soul in exchange for Aemon's service.
It's a good trade.
One of the contract devils just simply bows low to Adrammalech. Adrammalech begins, he picks up like the end of the scroll that Barnabas is frantically trying to read, but also trying to keep an eye on the room. You're very distracted at this point in time. And he puts the end of the contract into not the devil's hands, but into the imp's hands. And the imp seems to have a scroll tube that kind of like that is just sort of around his neck. And the contract, like like a roll of toilet paper kind of being rolled up after it begins to start going into the imp's contract. It's so long that the other end is still in Barnabas's hands, or whatever part he's quickly got to as he's trying to skim it. But this imp now is like sucking up part of the contract into the scroll tube. Adrammalech turns to the contract devil to the side of him, and is shown a contract, which then gets sucked up into a scroll tube that the imp sitting upon its shoulders has, and then the contract devil 3 seems to already have a contract, which the imp is holding out. The contract devil looks at it and then just simply shows it to Adrammalech. Barnabus, your soul is already consigned to hell. What do you offer?
Actual service. I brought you the soul of a veritable would-be god. Do some math.
The imps look frightened that you said that to him. Some of the contract devils are like, they don't approve of that tone. One of the Cornugons, like they almost flinch. Adrammalech just puts up a single hand, and all of this fretting stops. Service this soul, and I assume, but it should be stated, removal of the phylactery from your neck.
Well, I was going to consider trading the soul within the phylactery in exchange for removing it and, restoring me. That's more than a fair trade.
Let us start with first things first, since the soul is intertwined with the phylactery. This is what the new contract will be about. Should you sign, then we shall talk about how you will be rewarded for service to hell.
I will not sign anything until I know what I'm being rewarded with.
Okay, so
That's generally the way negotiations go.
you will have time to review the contract for removing the thing around your neck. But given that time is ticking, and the sands in the hourglass are growing thin for you, I suggest that we remove you from your current place. I suggest that you leave behind all things you wish not to bring into hell. These two Cornugons that are near you kind of have grabbed you by the elbow and have now propped you up.
Oh, so it's a kidnapping then, is it? All right.
Anything you bring into hell with you will be your own choice.
All right, well, he's got nothing he's particularly attached to, so.
Okay. Adrammalech is effectively Adrammalech is effectively letting you leave behind any equipment that you don't want to risk on a trip to hell.
Okay, he will leave his... I'm just going to highlight it on my character sheet. Let's see. He will leave his...
Mythic points to Ahmed.
No. Let's see. He may as well leave his weapons, because those will be useless. Weapons. Belt of Dex will be useless.
Okay, the Cornigons are letting you take your stuff off. They don't. Nobody seems to be in any hurry to like rob you.
The handy haver hat. That can stay, which has most of my gear. Keep that. I'll keep that. Is stuck to me already.
Just gonna hop into hell butt naked. That's the okay. I understand the thought process.
No, we're not going in butt naked. There's certain things that just won't be useful in hell.
Okay, you hear a weird siren. It seems to come from behind, like the opening to hell. It's very strange, and there are two guys wheeling out a metal bed on a frame. It's got very thin cushions, and these two guys look like this and this.
I may as well leave the Dusty Rose Prism.
The paramedics will bring you to the medical center.
All right.
These imps represent your old contract, your medical insurance, and the new contract that you will consider. Do not lose your imps.
All right, stick around, lads.
You! the imp says, I will own you! This imp says infernal to the old contract imp. The old contract imp says, you have not been signed! I am in control! And then the medical insurance contract imp just seems to be not interested in getting into this tussle.
Oh, Barnabus is bringing his comfy sheets. This could go a little while. He will leave his money behind. Well, his money's in his hat, so I'll just highlight it anyway. All right, I think we're ready.
Okay, the stronger of the two paramedics kind of grabs you like with a steely hand and leads you to the gurney.
All right.
They strap you down onto the gurney, kind of strap over your waist, but then they start tying up your arms for your protection.
All right, if you say so. He has no strength to fight these things.
The new contract imp just sort of floats onto your belly, and he's still showing you some of the contract where you were reading.
All right, slow down, back.
The other two imps sort of latch on to little almost like bird perches that were at the end of the bed. They looked weird, but now you understand what they are, and there's exactly 3 perches, and the 3 imps settle in. A little bit of jostling between the imps. And then Adrammalech at this point in time, we will see you soon, Barnabus Darby, one way or another.
He just nods to him.
Yep, Adrammalech seems to disappear as he enters the threshold of the portal. All right, let's go. It's a long trip to the medical center. Yeah, let's hope the traffic's all right.
What traffic?
Barnabus, there's the weirdest horseless carriage. It's white, painted with red markings that look like a red cross with a circle around it. For some reason, the word ambulance is all like in backwards letters written upon the.
Well, that's just shocking.
The stronger guy helps the other guy who has the stethoscope kind of move you into the back of the wagon. Somehow the wheels collapse on this bed conveyance that you're into, and with great haste they begin to transport Barnabus. They close the doors, and then this paramedic seems to that they're sitting in the back with you seems to be really we have to take your levels, is what he says, and he begins to with a zealousness that you've never seen by a nurse, very roughly put a cuff around you that gets tighter. He seems to be listening to something as he's squeezing this cuff tighter and tighter. He then puts this listening scope of some sort on your chest. I can't hear it. There's this grumble of an engine that kind of reminds you of like some sort of steam engine on a train, and then your conveyance begins to move, along with this noisy siren that keeps on going.
Okay. Looks at one of the imps. Goes, write this down. I want one of these.
So, what time did we have the fight with the Ghost Lord, and did Barnabas come here? Because I'm going to start keeping track.
Like what time of day?
Yeah, what time of day? Yeah,
Like
I think
10
it was
o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's early.
You feel the static of the as you're traveling in this conveyance. You feel the static of the telepathic bond kind of breaking. Are there any words that you want to share with Sunny and Widget and Agony, Brennos?
I'll be back for my loot.
Agony, wait, where are you going?
I think he's going to hell. Based
What?
off of what's being mentioned. Are you enjoying yourself? Don't worry, we'll come back for Eamon if you screw up down there. We might get you on the way.
All right, so we're at 0900 hours.
Are we flashing up like a little, like the numbers on the screen? 0900.
0900 hours is when you met Adrammalech. You did have a chance to peruse the contract, Barnabas. Give me a linguistics check, because you were just basically skimming it to try to like figure out what the fuck's going on.
All right. I will use one of my mythic.
Sure.
And I will get aid from Polly. Eamon's not here, so can't get his help. Sorry, give me a second. 48 plus 6. You'll use an inspiration point. 72.
Okay. So, as an overview for this very complicated Faustian pact, there is the following sections: the ask, which is what you're asking them.
Oh,
to do.
sorry. That's 92. I forgot to add the 20 from the mythic.
92. Okay.
90.
There is the ask.
Yeah, you're not used to making pacts with mortals like this.
This is just to see, like,
yeah, I
this
know.
is just to did you
took
understand
table
what you
contents,
read?
dude.
That's right. Yeah. I know how screwed I am. And then there are the terms, which has a section that makes reference to prior agreement, and it has reference to how the agreement gets updated with your Hell's cohort.
Mm-hmm.
It has an updated section about your familiar. It has an updated section about your mythic power. It has an updated section about death. It has an updated section about... Just make sure I've got everything. It has a section about your medical coverage. And then to who, like, there's this probably a complicated section about who benefits, like who is your patron.
Yeah.
And then you also, as part of the thing that you were willing to give up, you said phylactery removal, the ownership of the removed item. Adrammalech told you, like, service, that can be negotiated after. Like, that's not part of this contract. He didn't seem to be interested in including, you do a bunch of deeds. They wanted first things first out of the way. I think that's it. Oh, and then there's probably, like, terms and conditions, like some sort of, like, textbook long like caveats and and shit at the bottom, like the fine print. Okay, so that is the overview of the Faustian Pact, which is all that you had time to do during your conversation with Adrammalech.
Okay.
You seem to be on this like this bumpy ride. This paramedic seems to be futzing and really. Do you seem stressed? Are you stressed? He seems really stressed. Don't worry, we'll start an IV.
Oh, it's okay. I got one. And he pulls out his flask because he brought that to hell.
Okay, so you're pulling out your flask. No contraband. And you're tied to a gurney right now.
You fox! Now he's an angry.
All right, no contraband. And he just kind of like caps it and puts it back into your pocket, and then he goes about, and it seems like for about the next 15 minutes, every bump on the road coincides with him trying to find a vein in your arm. He stabbed your arm about 5 times. You've taken about 5 damage from this before he finally gets his little needle in. And then it's hooked up to this little like tube, and then there's a bag, and the bag he crunches, and the color of the bag, like the green at the top, mixes with the clear at the bottom into this light green liquid. And then you could see the light green liquid coming down this down this tube. There you go. You'll be relaxed in a minute.
Why are you yelling?
Well, there's a siren going on. You can hear all sorts of like engines and honking, and there's bouncing. We gotta take your levels. And he seems to go about this process of pumping your arm until it hurts, looking at a little scope, like your arm has pressure in it.
It's nonsense.
And then he's like trying to listen for your heartbeat. You realize, I'm not getting a clear signal. He might be dead. Nonsense. You never get a clear signal. The guy, driving? Is he some sort of driver? Weird. Like that little door opened, and the guy who had moved you into the gurney like yelled over his shoulder, then shut the door to the front part of the cab. You're not dead, are you?
No, I'm not fucking dead, you fucking twit.
Okay, it's hard to tell sometimes when you don't
isn't.
When you don't get the levels. He's not dead. Keep on going.
Where are we going?
If you're not dead, to the medical center. If you are dead, we're gonna bring you to the morgue.
I've got work to do.
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry. They know what they're doing at the medical center.
Oh, better than you, I hope. Just looking at his arm.
What's that? Now
Never mind.
We gotta check your levels.
They're fine.
Oh, whatever that green substance was, Barnabus has taken drugs before. It was just like, oh my god, am I ever relaxed?
Imp!
Just this
Write
weird...
this down! I want more of that!
the imps don't seem to have writing implements. They have these scrolls.
I will write it in your blood.
The one imp comes forward. You speak infernal, right?
He does, yes.
Okay, the medical imp comes forward and says, he was about to talk to you, and then he gets slapped by the new contract imp. You are conditional! And then he seems to be the most omega of the three imps. And then the others two go back to glaring at each other and insulting each other. Barnabus, you do have this ambulance ride to continue to read the contract if you want, or do you just want to relax for a little bit?
No, he's going to keep reading.
Okay.
This is not the time to get lazy.
All right. You are under the effects of some sort of basic relaxant. This will be a penalty on your roll for especially mental actions. What are you doing? Are you trying to understand a particular clause a little bit better, or are you...
He's trying to understand.
Sorry, that didn't... some of them didn't... Yeah, the formatting. So there's the overview, and there's the ask, which has two things in it, the full actor removal and the ownership of the removed items.
Okay.
And then there are a bunch of terms, and the terms are reference to prior agreement, Hell's cohort, familiar, mythic power, death, medical coverage, patron, and then there's like a
They use the
giant...
term mythic power for mythic power.
Yep.
Okay.
They are the rules demons. They're the ones who actually use the book.
Yes.
The devils actually use the D&D book. Oh, you used an attack of opportunity. What?
Right.
You get dumbass and I punched him. No. You used an attack of opportunity.
Let's check the fine print terms and conditions.
Okay, start reading, try to the fine print and terms and conditions. This is like the stuff that enforces all of the... Well, first give me a roll.
All right. Oh, sorry.
You're at a -4 with the mental, or with the muscle relaxant coursing through your veins.
I'm just going to keep pumping you full of drugs and say sign on the dotted line.
48.
Okay, 48. The fine print and terms and conditions are largely, as you imagine in any legal document, very confusing. They also make reference to documents that are not in this document, and it's like a laundry list of those things. Some of them Barnabus may be familiar with, or the way that the way that the sentences are formed can kind of assume what these things mean. You almost need a legal library, probably the Hell's legal library, as a reference point. The fine print in the terms and conditions is where the complexity of the deal is, because it's all off paper. It's where you could spend the next 20 years, 30 years of your life truly understanding the legalese of this. You don't have any ranks in like
No,
law or anything like that, but Barnabas is pretty good at using linguistics. You know that this is where you suspect that this is both an opportunity for either you or for them. If your case ever had to go to some sort of court or arbitration, all these references out of the document and what those documents say are where people have some sort of advantage. For this document, you're trying to find what the gotcha is here in the fine print. 48. The thing about this contract that at least makes you relax a little bit during your ride is that all Faustian pacts actually do have to be signed by mortals with their free will.
Yep, that's what he figured.
This one is no different.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh damn! I told you you gotta take the turnpike. Oh, we're hitting some heavy traffic. A lot of assholes are late for work.
Well, now at 1000 hours.
Lots of time to read.
They seem to hit some traffic. Whatever, you could hear all sorts of honking and yelling.
We don't want your trinkets. Get away from the ambulance. Get away from the ambulance.
I can hear his levels now. And then you actually hear a click click and a boom from the front cab.
Okay.
Damn trinket seller. He got his squeegee. His squeegee was all mucky.
What's this squeegee?
You gotta be quiet. I can't hear your levels if you're not quiet.
Yes, quite obfuscated apparently. Can't seem to find them ever.
No, I got them. You're alive. Don't worry. We'll get you to the medical center as soon as we can. Oh, this traffic's gonna kill our times, though. Yeah. Get a move on.
They seem to be in a panic that there's traffic.
Okay. Can I go through anything else, or
Look at this construction. They're just digging a hole for you. Digging a hole for no reason.
These guys are full of like rage. They seem to like not be. They haven't slept in a long time. They seem to be really hurried. You could go through another section if you want.
yeah, I want to go through the patron part.
Okay. Give me another roll.
Oh. 64.
Okay. The patron, you actually have to follow through a bunch of documents. It's almost like there's a separate document defining who the benefactor of this is, and it goes through other names that then are vassals of other people who are then, you encounter some shell corporations that are owned by a different corporation and then another corporation, and you're sort of left with without an external source. You can't verify it. You miss a couple of hops, but with a 64 and at 20, it does come back down to that Adrammalech is the person who not only receives your soul, but receives some of the benefits of the rest of the contract.
Okay. Now, knowledge planes.
That took you about another hour of like, we're almost there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Knowledge planes. What were to happen if Adrammalech were to be killed in hell and destroyed?
Well, given that devils seem to like paperwork, and follow probably laws to a certain degree. If a devil died in hell, or a devil lord died in hell and had stuff that was worth it, what's your knowledge planes?
I am going to do the tricky roll there where I add my int again.
Okay. At this
and
point in
take-
time,
and
the relaxant has worn off. You're only at a -2, not a -4.
Oh, okay. So that's 52, 70, yeah, so 50, 54, and we'll do a 36, so 54, 74, 79.
Well, his death has nothing to do with his contract. The contract has a number, and it would likely be referenced in a last will and testament. But even before that, you're thinking tricky creatures of like near Devil Lord or Devil Lord status probably have all sorts of contingency plans upon their death. But when it really came down to it, there would likely be a divvying of goods and realms as per any will and testament. And then you would guess that if there wasn't a will and testament, you doubt that the Chancellor of Hell doesn't have one, especially if he's a records keeper. Asmodeus would be the final arbiter in any divvying.
Mm-hmm.
Like the default would be if it's confusing, it would likely go to Asmodeus, assuming everything.
Ultimately, everything goes to Asmodeus.
Yeah, right. But as his lord, as Adrammalech's lord, it would go to Asmodeus. But likely he's got a will and testament. You remember hearing that devils that have been able to carry with them or have accumulated the wealth of kings and great realms within hell have had their domains divvied up as per their wishes or as per the wishes of their liege lord. Okay. This would include all of the benefits of the Faustian pacts that a devil is patron to or has ultimately been given. You're hoping, well, I guess at that point in time you would hope that the stuff that is taken off the top or the payments to vassals as you go up Hell's hierarchy would not have divvied your soul or the benefit of your contract to any of the lesser devils before it actually got into Adrammalech's hands. This contract suggests, though, that Adrammalech is personally interested in your fate. Okay, Barnabas, at this point in time,
I think he's dead. I can't get his level.
Holy shit, you're bad at your job, aren't you?
He's not fucking dead. Look at him, he's up and talking. Yeah, but he could be undead. Remember that time? Yeah, I remember that time.
there's a smoking shotgun that is now pointed at you, and the driver, like, he's come around back and opened it up.
Are you dead?
Oh, I'm not dead, nor am I undead. I'm quite alive.
He's not dead. Let's move him in. All right, let's get him to triage.
And they begin wheeling you out of the back of the ambulance. The imps kind of get disturbed a little bit, and they're like landing back down on their roosts and on your leg. And I'm going to move your tokens from Bellefonte Tower basement into the Pentad Medical Wellness Center.
I'm curious as to why they can't get your levels.
It's because my liver's shot.
Yeah, it's bad at their jobs.
Everything's been shutting down for years.
Okay, you seem to be in a very smoggy city, although you turned down a path where the ambulance seemed to be allowed to go. And there is this very, I don't know, like modern style building. I guess for you would be futuristic style building. But for all its futuristicness, it does have this very rigid look. And you don't like the look of the grayish white smoke pouring out of a large chimney at the back of the wellness center. They don't bring you in through the front where there are well manicured but almost sickly looking grass, and you can see this weird razor wire-like vine starting to creep up in areas along the part of the hospital. Even a few of the windows, it looks like the razor vine has like crept into the hospital itself. Like those that tend the grounds may not have been able to deal with such things. There is this brief moment as your gurney is being wheeled from the ambulance into the back of the wellness center, and then there is a unwashed mass of very injured and sick people that are in this overpacked waiting room. There are these huge screens, these see-through glass screens where there are very, very slow-moving nurses or bureaucrats that seem to be taking people's requests one at a time. You thankfully don't have to wait in that line, as they seem to have orders to bring you directly to the emergency room. They bring you to the emergency room, and for a brief moment, you're not in a room, but you're in like a cornered off area that have these simple plastic curtains on curtain rods kind of in a square, and they wheeled you into one of these areas. Barnabus, give me a perception check. At this point in time, your adrenaline, like with seeing all these strange sights, your system has fully sweated out whatever heady drug they pumped into you.
40.
Okay, Barnabas, you could see there is some sort of organized and insane butchery going on around you.
Okay.
Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
There's like a blood splatter kind of seen through the screen. You can hear someone saying,
But I've silver medical. I have insurance. I'm afraid your medical insurance has lapsed. You have no insurance. But there is good news. You have filled out your organ donor card. No, I haven't. Yes, you have. And it appears you've taken full advantage of your OD shopper's discount and OD dental assistance. Man, a man's gonna live. It's just for groceries. Yes, but the rules are the rules. Take this one to operating room 207. No!
Boy, salty.
what's that?
He didn't mean to Bedford. He's salty.
He went in for a paper cut.
Ugh.
This man comes to you and says, he seems to be drenched in blood and wearing some sort of doctor's outfit.
Hello.
Have you seen an eyeball?
He closes his eyes. No, I have not.
All right. Let me know if you've seen an eyeball.
What map? Which map is this? The
Wellness Medical Center, just on the edge of the road there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just have
Maniac
tiny.
doctor.
Yes.
yeah. I just have a guy kind of moving.
Yeah, I
in.
see.
When a guy shows up with a 12-inch chef knife going, are we ready for surgery? Like, that...
This is like cross-eyed and shit.
All right, you wait there for about 10 minutes. You're not sure if this is the place to be reviewing the contract.
However, I have no choice.
You are interrupted by, you want to call them nurses?
No, that's not what I'm calling them. That is not what I'm calling them.
For some reason, the nurses here looks like they're all recovering from some sort of facial surgery. Two nurses come in. They and they're looking at some sort of clipboard that is at the bottom of your seat. Another nurse comes in with a needle all primed.
Is that no? I don't need the green stuff right now. Not
Okay.
right now.
She sticks you in the leg and pumps pump stuff into you. Oh god, this is a different kind of swirling feeling. Must be some other kind of drug. And then these nurses just simply leave.
I hate you. Imp, hold up the contract. I'm feeling very numb.
Yeah, it's like they want you to calm down. You actually catch a glimpse of them with your 40 that they just simply go over to another patient and like everyone's getting the same sort of treatment. They're getting just sort of stuck with this needle that seems to calm people down.
Same needle.
And write this
Like,
down.
literally
I
the
want
same
some of that too.
Eventually, a different nurse comes in.
Oh no.
She's got a very stern.
She's not a good nurse.
She's got a very stern look. What do we have here?
Oh, I can understand you. What a nice change. He's
3
speaking in infernal because he's just assuming that's the native tongue.
3 imps.
Yes, I am the contract imp. You are not the contract imp. I am the contract imp.
Silence! Does this man have medical insurance?
He has contingent medical insurance should he, sign the new pact.
I see. And what ranking is this contingent medical insurance? She says, like she's really annoyed that you have contingent medical insurance. Like she's almost speaking through clenched teeth. The other two nurses are growling as if picking up on her controlled fury.
Double star plus medical insurance coverage.
Show it to me. The medical insurance imp seems to puff out his chest, and he goes forward and he reveals in his little scroll something that actually glows golden. This is a very rare type of insurance.
Yeah,
Miss-
it is. He looks towards the old insurance and do our insurance for the old. Oh, fuck me then. All right.
Well, it does see that our current policy is to give you some time to consider your new offer. I look forward to seeing you if you don't.
All right then.
Wheel him to a room. Not his own room. Send him to... what do they call it? Send him to critical care B. And she stalks off, and then with a huff, these two nurses...
Ask you what's wrong with you? They just know. Does it hurt? Hey, nobody cares.
Well, at least the hiring policies aren't sexist, are they?
The two nurses growl at you a little bit, and they start wheeling you through the hospital. Give me another perception check. I'm going to move this group to another map called Hell Hospital Bed.
Oh, am I suffering any negatives from the new shot for a perception check?
Yes, you're at a -2 for the new shot.
All right. 44.
Okay, you see into some of the rooms. Let me get this map at a proper size. Adjust the grid. It's way too... That's a little bit better. Barnabus sees into some of the rooms. You see... that some people here are not getting really great care. Is what you'd call it. I'll expose some tokens just off to the side of your medical bed, which is where you're.
Oh, this is the bed.
Yeah, this is where you're going to end up. You do see one guy talking to a patient at the end of his bed. The guy is in a full body cast, it looks like, and he looks like a really officious looking man. He's got a clipboard, and you overhear. He's really short, though. He's really short and pudgy. You overhear him talking about signing some forms, and he's like putting the pen into the guy's hand as he's in the full body cast to kind of like try to sign some form.
Okay.
You pass by another couple of hospital rooms where you can hear screaming or people raving behind. There are two men off to the side that these nurses, while they're wheeling you with this gurney, they actually wheel you off to the side, and then they stand and wait, and their heads kind of go down. And it seems to be that same doctor. There's weird chimes going off, like kind of like light chimes, and you can hear like people being paged.
Okay.
Like, Dr. Kravis, please report to, like medical wing 3. Dr. Kravis. And it's really calm, but the people in here are anything but calm. I found the eyeball! Make way! Make way! Which ward are we in?
Ward C.
Oh, we're in the wrong ward! I haven't slept in 104 hours! The doctor goes wandering off, holding on to an eyeball still with its stem. Another doctor, who seems to have used implements to prop his own eyes open, simply follows suit, kind of giggling as they run past Barnabas's bed. The nurses seem to, now that the doctors are out of the hall, seem to continue to move, almost like they were afraid, or maybe there's some sort of hierarchy here.
That is a crazy token for that doctor.
Barnabas, you are escorted into a room that has a bunch of smaller alcoves in it, and you can tell that there are patients in their own beds behind the alcoves, even though the screens have been pulled. There is a bit of transparency, or there's a bit of transparency or luminosity. You can see figures moving, or you can hear people behind these screens. The nurses are pretty strong. They actually lift you up out of your gurney after unstrapping you, and then put you into your hospital bed. The imps seem to have their own hooks and little perches that are already like installed along the wall, and they go and sit up there, up above your hospital bed. These nurses then quickly go about strapping you into this bed, including manacles that are kind of annoying in that you could almost reach your face to scratch it. They do tie down your feet as well, and get you situated. They give you a moment's reprieve before a new set of nurses come in that look like they might be part of this area, that begin to establish this weird tube that goes directly into your arm again. Do you say anything as they're setting up the tube?
I'm good, thank you. Nope.
Okay.
Just swat them away.
All right. The second that you show any sign of resistance, they stab you with another needle that makes you really relaxed.
All right. Next time, it's a mirror image.
They do leave you for a moment. As you are in the critical care area of the hospital, receiving the best care ever, contingent care. The nurses do leave as somebody else seems to be throwing a fit, and these nurses run off to the side.
Hey!
You hear a voice.
Who is it? And fuck off.
You in here too? What you in for?
Phylactery removal yourself?
Phylactery removal? Don't know what that is. Oh,
No, I imagine you would.
I have I got a bunch of conditions.
You should write them down and tell your doctor.
Yeah, well. Hey, what coverage you got?
He shrugs.
Hold on a second. Let me have a look at you.
The guy pulls back a curtain. Oh, he is literally a skinless corpse wrapped in, like, dressings that have...
How did the wagon people not shoot you?
Oh, no. I got a skin condition.
Oh no, that's not a condition, mate. That's a fucking curse, is what that is.
Yeah, well, beats death, doesn't it?
Now, is it contagious? Your condition?
I don't think so.
Alright.
You can call me Mort.
Barnabus laughs. What you say?
Yeah.
Alright, you can call me Barney.
Well, good to meet you, Barney. You sign your donor card.
Nope, not gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. You know, a few bucks off at the grocery store ain't worth it in the end.
No. Careful what you sign, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Careful what you sign around this place. 3 imps? Ain't you lucky? Or unlucky?
It's probably the latter.
Oh, hey. Last bit of advice. Watch out for the stews.
This is stews?
Yeah.
This is stew.
Oh, you just got here. Yeah, don't worry. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Oh, I don't let the nurses see you up. Or do if you want some more poking.
Barnabas will turn himself invisible.
Okay, so
Gives him a few minutes of reading his contract in peace.
okay. So this bumbling man with paperwork and a clipboard kind of stumbles into your area, and he looks up at the imps, looks down at you, and then actually puts the clipboard at the end of your belt and starts like flipping through notes. And let me see.
Does he react at all to the invisibility?
Nope.
Well, who's Mr. Skin Suit?
Agent Stew. Where did you find that token?
Oh, I'm pretty certain I could. If you give me 3 guesses, I'll pick the movie that's from.
He goes over and he looks at the clipboard that's the end of your bed.
Barnabus Darby. All right. Yeah.
He's filling out a form. He breaks
Barnabas stays completely quiet.
He
until
breaks his pencil.
invisibility wears out.
It's this weird looking wooden writing implement. You've never seen such a thing before. Damn it! And he puts his clipboard down and takes out a little thing and starts like shaving down the writing implement. It's creating some shavings all over the place. Starts writing in this form again. You could see him in these block letters writing Barnabas Darby. And then he's like writing a patient number.
Okay, yeah, he's completely silent except for the rustling of his papers.
Yeah, the guy looks up at your imps. Huh. You might already
and
have.
his invisibility wears out when it wears out.
Yep, you might already have coverage. See if we can get him more comfortable. Yes. All right. patient, and he goes and copies down a number dutifully. He seems to be quite content filling out paperwork. You see a letterhead on the form that he's filling out.
What does it say?
It says stew, stew, and stew, advocacy and insurance.
Are they all spelled the same way, or is it 3 different spellings of stew?
No, it's STU, 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 advocacy and insurance. With some little number at the bottom, you're not sure what the number means. Might be a date in hell.
Okay. Eventually, he's just reading the contract, and eventually is.
Yeah, your invisibility spell plus the presence of this guy standing there at the foot of your bed seems to buy you some time. You do get to, as you're getting situated, it's approximately 1,100 hours at this point in time, and you've got well, it's 1,000 hours when you arrived. You spent an hour in the horrible emergency room. And then you've spent maybe an hour here. So it is 1,200 hours at this point.
Okay.
I need you first, as you have time to think and sort of recall, you felt a little bit weird, and you weren't too sure if it was the drugs or not. And as you passed some of the hospital rooms, you saw some of the hospital rooms had people in them. Some of them had doctors or nurses. And other hospital rooms were kind of a blur. Give me a knowledge planes.
I will take 20. I'll save that for later. 20 will give me a 62.
Not all.
Oh, minus 4 though, so 58.
It's good enough. There are localized effects within the hospital in some rooms and in some areas that you have passed that suggest that not all locations in the hospital have the same rate of flow of time.
Okay.
You're like, interesting. That might be useful in like recovering from injury and diseases.
Mm-hmm.
It is not interesting in your case. There's
You
this
go in
like
there and think about it. Bring him out.
there's this heart-sinking feeling as you're like, yep, this is how hell should feel like. And the more you know, the more depressed. The imp shuffle a little bit, and your illusion begins to start going away. Oh, hi there. He doesn't seem to skip a beat. Might I introduce myself? I'm Agent Stu for 116. I'm here to see if you're very comfortable or not. I'm also here for other things. It appears that you've got three imps. Might I have a look at what their contract numbers are?
No.
Oh, he said no. Right. He puts his pencil away and takes up this handkerchief and wipes his face like he's a little bit nervous. So as you see, as an agent of Stu and Stu Advocacy and Insurance, I'm here to help you navigate such a wonderful and helpful health place. Oh yes, I have to say their slogan. What's their slogan again? There's another guy who looks remarkably like Agent Stu 4116, who seems to clear his throat and get Agent 4116's attention as well as yours. And let me grab a different token. For Agent.
That looks like Danny DeVito, but at the same time doesn't look like Danny DeVito. How the hell? Who the hell is that guy?
Agent 41116, may I speak to you for a moment? And he kind of like glances at Barnabas. Oh, yes, of course, Agent 417. I'll be right back. No, you won't.
Uh-oh, someone screwed up the sales pitch.
The imps begin to chuckle a little bit. The nurses seem to be doing their rounds. They seem to be doing their rounds with that needle again, just keeping people calm.
Barnabas turns invisible again.
Alright, Barnabas casts invisibility again. The nurses seem to avoid the area if they just don't see the person lying in the bed. You play a bit of a waiting game.
Ah, you got the purple stuff. I like the purple stuff, says Mort beside you. And then,
Stay quiet. Stay very quiet. I've work to do.
All right, 1200 hours is turned into 1300 hours.
Yep.
I guess it wouldn't be 0, it's just 1300.
Yep. He wants to read the part about mythic power because he doesn't even know which mythic power they're talking about.
Got it. So this seems to be an important section. What you gonna do? It's another linguistics check. Linguistics check.
Oh yeah. Linguistics check. And I think this one's worth spending
Your penalty is only at a -2 because some time has passed since they last jabbed you, and they
I just got to figure out what mythic they're talking about and who it's going to belong to. And I think I know who it's going to belong to already. So, plus 42, 46, 59.
Okay. This contract makes reference to the death section, which is also wrapped up in the previous agreement. And it seems to expand upon it in a way that it's talking about how, after your demise, or after the conditions of the death part of the contract, which there's a new section for death, which is also concerning. It talks about that you will surrender your mythic power as part of this contract. Like they are laying claim to your mythic power. Just like you're dangling the Ghost Lord's mythic power before them going, hey, you could use this. And you're well aware of blood theft. They may also be aware of blood theft. At least the Chancellor of Hell is, and may recognize you as a mythic being.
Okay.
With your 59, you're really curious about the death part because it seems to be talking about what happens when you die, but then there's also an intermediary step you don't quite understand because you haven't read the full contract yet or haven't understood the death clause.
I'm guessing there's an intermediary part where let's see if someone calls you back.
That talks about partial fractions of mythic power.
Okay.
The partial fractions of mythic power are divided into, like, ranks. And Barnabas is starting to now understand that not only do they understand what mythic power is, they understand the relative power between mythic beings.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This mythic part applies to any mythic ranks that you currently have at the time that you're dead, or that you currently have now, specifically the time when some condition in the death clause happens, and any mythic power that you gain at any point in time, now or in the future.
Okay.
And-
I'm curious if based on like just what I saw outside the ambulance, if I can make a guess what level I'm on or where I am.
Yeah, so because you saw like this strange city with smog and high buildings, you can give me a knowledge planes if you want to figure out where you are.
I'll take 20 again. I better start keeping track of those, which I will. Okay. Damn it, Mark. There we go. And the 20 will give me 60.
You
Oh,
are
sorry, I didn't do the thing. 70.
you are in
This.
you are in a city called New Dis,
This.
which is in the plane, which is in the layer of Dis.
All right.
Dis is in the second layer of Hell.
Okay.
While the entire almost entirely covered by a city, you know that in recent times, older parts of the city have fallen into like ruin, while there's a giant slum, and then at the center of New Dis is kind of like the sparkling new build, and where a lot of the business and corporations in Hell would have their headquarters.
Okay.
That weird
Alright.
ambulance ride might have been bringing you up through layers of Hell on your way here.
Interesting.
So have you read enough?
Says the new contract.
Leave him alone. He doesn't want your trash. Yes, he does. He's
No,
really
I don't think I do.
He's really interested in this contract.
Actually, well, we'll go through the death part, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like what it says.
Okay.
I'm guessing they're just leaving me alone.
Yeah, you start looking through the death part.
See,
Yeah.
he really likes my writing. You know, he should read mine. I'm only contingent.
Ah, you still there, friend?
You're Mort.
Yeah, he's just pretending to be incoherent.
Ah, yeah, first time with the purple stuff, huh?
The imp seemed to like your taunting. Okay.
Yeah, he reads the death part.
All right, give me another linguistics check. At this point in time, your head has cleared, and it is now. It is now 1,400 hours.
66.
Okay, so you know the old contract basically said when you die,
My soul.
your soul goes to them, and the contract also makes it very difficult for you to be brought back to life, because the devil wants your soul, basically. This contract states that each time you die, you will surrender in fealty a single mythic rank as per this contract. And it also talks about how many times you can die and be brought back to life before your death is quote-unquote final.
And how many times is that?
It's currently listed as 3.
Well, that's just unacceptable. All right, he starts making adjustments to the contract.
Okay, with what?
That out, ready in blood.
Okay, give me an escape artist check. You are in bindings. You kind of trying to get this thing out.
Oh, I can't do an escape artist check. +4. Oh, not 20.
Okay, you somehow you take another damage as you're pulling this needle out of your arm.
Yeah.
And you've got this needle, you're like, okay, let me get this in my hand, and you got the hand, it's gonna squirt.
Just scratching parts out that he doesn't like.
Okay, so you manage to get to, what part do you not like?
Well, basically the whole death, like transferring the mythic part when he dies.
Okay, so you try to, okay, you scratch through that, and yeah, you do make a big scratch through the whole clause of giving up a mythic rank every time you die.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the page bleed where you make the mark,
Mm-hmm.
and then the contract begins to mend itself.
Oh, okay. Even like change. All right, you new guy.
Yes. What are you doing with that?
Take this back to your boss and tell him to try harder.
Okay.
He starts wheeling up the.
Psst, hey, it sounds like you're feeling better.
This is Mort.
No.
Okay.
What do you want me to say again?
Ask him to try harder. This is unacceptable.
What part?
Specifically the giving up mythic when I die. And the maximum number of deaths of 3 now. Whole rank when I die, that's fucking ridiculous.
Okay. And that's it? You want it replaced by do better?
Yeah, he's supposed to tempt me. It's his fucking job. I get he's the numbers kind of guy. Maybe they should have just stuck me with someone from sales. Because he's not doing a great job.
You don't like any of the contracts.
It's just shit, the whole thing. I think I'm just going to ask for this, Beta.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm going to go somewhere else. Get a deal from someone else. He's not the only devil in hell, I'm assuming.
So you don't want me to make any adjustment?
Tell him to go and write me a more tempting contract.
More tempting contract. All right.
Yeah.
I will say that exactly.
Yes.
And that you do not like the death part and the mythic rank part.
Yeah, no mythic giving up. No maximum number of times I can die, and no immediately soul taken away when I die the first time.
But that is part of old contract. You want me to send old contract away? No, old contract has
No,
to
the
stay
all
here.
contract's done. All contract's done.
No, it's not. Not until you sign new contract. Oops.
Off with you. And let
Okay.
him know I'm looking at other offers.
All right. Hey, wait a second. Contingent medical insurance. Yeah? Come with me. Oh, that's right. I'm contingent upon that contract.
Yeah, now it's time for Barnabus to try to escape the hospital.
I'm the only one left. I win.
Hey, did you send your medical insurance imp away? You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
Yeah, I guess so. But, long-term consequences,
I wouldn't have done that if I were you.
Yeah, well, look at your face. I'm guessing you do a lot of things I wouldn't do.
That's true. But I got caught in like a catch-22.
I have no idea what that is, because Barnabas hasn't read the book.
Right. Well, catch-22 is you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So I'm just gonna stay here in my nice comfy bed here and get the purple stuff every once in a while. Oh, damn, it itches.
You enjoy that.
Yeah, you don't want to be wandering around this hospital.
No, I don't plan to.
All right, well, should be lights out soon.
You say so.
The nurses like to go for a siesta. It's like our afternoon nap time.
Oh, I like those too. Yeah, who can blame them? Must be hot with all those. Well, with those faces.
Sorry for the intrusion. I'm Agent 417. I can't believe we're in the 4000s by now. Once we got past 2000, they don't know what they're doing. They didn't go through the training that I did. Heck, we wrote the manual on the training. So, weren't there 3 imps here before?
Yeah, I'm going home.
Mr. Barnabus Darby?
Yeah, Barnabus is undoing his straps.
Okay, give me a...
Well, he's got one arm free, didn't he?
No, you were able to get the needle out. You're still in your bindings.
If you wouldn't mind undoing me.
It's a good one. So I've got wait, is that the medical insurance imp that you've got there? Do you mind if I read?
Yes, I do mind. Now fuck off. You're a Stu, right?
I am Agent Stu 417.
No one cares.
Wow. I care, so that's not exactly correct. I'm actually here to provide you with some excellent medical insurance. You know, bad things happen around here during nap times. When the lights go down, you wouldn't want to be caught here without medical insurance.
I'll take my chances.
You had double star plus medical coverage. Conditional. It's too bad about the conditional part. You didn't lose your imp, did you?
Oh no, I sent it away.
Ooh. Yeah, risk-taking 9 out of 10.
Oh, you should make that 10 out of 10. I'm here with a godlike druid on my neck in a phylactery. I'm about to die.
Are you?
Yeah.
Says here you've got at least, I don't know, a few more hours before you're going to be put into a confinement.
That would be wise, yes.
Hell. Under your old medical insurance, they would have sent you to a anti-magic room and had... Well, let's hope it's not one of the butchers. No, it's not one of the interns. They would have had actually some fine surgeons. You know, the ones that don't need magic to get things done. And then they would have had a staff of 3 clerics with heal spells and restorations. Even a regeneration. It's too bad you gave up your medical insurance.
I knew a guy like that did that sort of stuff.
Procedure does involve removing your head to get at that thing and then refusing it back onto your body.
Not my problem.
Oh,
That's someone else's job.
It is your problem. Because it says here that if you do not sign the contract before a particular point of time, that the hospital gets to deal with you as a hostile entity.
Yes, well, in point of fact, it won't be me anymore. It will be something else.
Oh. Do you know where your imp has gone?
Yes, I sent it back to its master.
He looks through some... His master is...
Keep looking. I'm sure you've learned to read.
I actually don't have that information here. Had I been able to read, maybe it's written in the contract that is held by
It's
your
not.
imp there.
Come on. How can I help you out if you don't let me have a little peek at your imp scroll?
Yeah, come in. Come here. I'll whisper it to you. Fuck off! Right in his ear.
Spit and all.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry you feel that way. He kind of closes his clipboard, puts it up. I'm going to have to report this to my superiors, you see.
Oh, you mean stew?
Let us hope that it hasn't gone up the chain that far.
Oh, yes. Wouldn't want us to deal with stew.
No. No, you don't. Oh, I see the warning light. It's nap time soon. If you'll excuse me.
Have a nice day.
Good luck. And don't hold on too hard to hope. It'll only make it more sore when it is dashed.
Holy fuck, I never seen anyone talk to stews like that before. 416? You're a pretty lucky man. What are you in for?
Told you, phylactery removal.
Phylactery removal? Mean like you're a lich?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. You know liches?
Well, I don't know any. I heard of them.
Like, kind of look like one, but...
Not too many liches need hospitals.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fuck, it itches.
All right, give me a bluff, Barnabus. You're basically bluffing for a better deal.
No, this is another glass window situation. That is an unacceptable deal. Plus, I will spend a mythic point.
I don't know if I see the situation the same way Mark does. I don't know.
Plus,
Because it's like they just need to wait for 12 hours and then they get your soul and they got to do it. Because he's stuck in hell.
yes, but I don't forfeit my mythic power.
That's true. We could fight you back and then you stay mythic.
44.
We'll get Eamon and then Eamon wants you back.
Yeah. 8, and I will use I'll use a mythic on this for the bluff. Plus,
Mark's got great big cojones. I don't know if I could. I'd have a hard time playing hardball in this situation.
78 on the bluff check.
Okay. The lights do dim for nap time.
Yeah, and he's ready for a beating.
Yeah, the nurses do come by and give everyone a little bit of juice for nap time. Is Barnabas trying to avoid the juice?
Yeah, he'll cast invisibility again.
Okay. The nurses just sort of look into the room. One of the nurses looks twice, but then hobbles goes wandering off. The imp's actually chuckling.
It's not the oh.
And everyone seems to be in a state where they're still awake, but a kind of a strange hush falls over over this little bit of a ward, giving Barnabas a moment or two to think or to do a thing or
Cast freedom of movement.
okay.
I don't know if I can cast in the restraints.
Well, you've been casting your invisibility.
Yeah, but
I just need to read a spell.
yeah, go ahead. Got 4 things going right now too. Excuse me.
Okay, you cast the spell. Your hand restraints come off. One of your foot restraints come off, but there is a metal thing around your other foot that stays on.
Okay.
It separates from the chain, however, that is tied to your bed. While you're doing this, there's a bright light that passes into the room as a doctor comes into the room. It seems to be that very confused doctor. The one that hasn't slept in 104 hours, which would be about 107 at this point in time.
Quick! Does anyone have a kidney?
Now it's time to cast invisibility again.
Just a spare one. I need a spare kidney.
I'm going to roll a 1 in 12 chance he starts heading towards your nook. If I roll a 1, nope.
You got a kidney?
No! There's this kind of moan from the room, and then there's some impromptu surgery that is occurring.
Okay, well, Barnabus is going to find himself a little hidey hole.
Okay, where are you going?
Well, this looks like, based on what you've shown, a normal-ish hospital. Granted, it's probably pretty hard to find hellish hospital rooms on the internet, but...
Yeah, so this room is roughly rectangular with about 16 alcoves off to the side, minus 2 alcoves, so it's got 14 alcoves, and then a single double doors that lead into and out of this room.
I wonder how big the discount is on your grocery bill for the organ donor card.
Oh, I got it. Just give me 2 seconds.
It was 3% cash back. Don't worry about it.
Read the fine print.
You also get discount on dental coverage.
Soup is cheap and teeth are optional. I came in with a broken toe and they cut out a kidney. Give me a coupon for this one.
Where are you going?
Says the imp.
Oh, I'm finding another place to sleep. You can stay here.
No, I must follow you.
Well, then be quiet about it, would you?
Oh.
Give me a intimidate check.
66.
Or else what?
Or I will include you in my next contract and I will have you torn to pieces on a daily basis.
Oh, that doesn't sound very good.
The imp with your 66 turns invisible.
But you're sick, right? That is why you're in this hospital?
No, that's not why I'm in this hospital.
Okay.
Looked for a closet or something to hide in.
Yeah, okay. So
like
there,
a linen closet.
yeah, there is a closet in this room. The little door, and there's all like there's enough room for you just kind of squeeze in the closet. There are linens and some big jars of what look like cleaning solution, some mops at the back, some gauze and bandages. You basically hide in the closet.
All right.
All right. Apparently,
Nurse! There we go. Pack that into ice. We've got a kidney. Hey!
and the butcherish doctor goes running.
You have organ donor card?
No.
Do you want organ donor card? I got connections.
No, I'm sure you do.
You like Hershey's?
Yeah, I don't actually eat, so...
You got a toothache?
No.
You know that there's some of the groceries have so much sugar in it that it gives you toothache. And then you gotta go to dentist for toothache. And then sign organ donor card because you can't afford both groceries and toothache.
What is a dentist?
Someone who take out your teeth?
That's a barber, you silly imp.
Oh, you from backwards world.
No, backwards world. It's a fucking backwards world. If I can take kidneys.
Most advanced civilization in hell.
Oh, if you say so.
Yep.
I take it helps to enjoy the suffering of others while you're down here.
I was looking forward to Double Star Plus medical coverage room. It has separate room from anyone else, very nice nurses, and television.
Yes, but look at the excitement right here. Will I be beaten? Will I have my organs taken out?
You don't want to spend much more time here. Unfortunately, this contract does not have medical coverage. They want you to die. At least they did when you signed it.
So you tell me what happens when I don't have medical coverage.
Then your malady will take shape and form. Doctors will not help.
Oh. All right. So I will just simply wait for the next offer.
You think they actually change your contract? I've never seen that before.
I'm very special. And Barnabus is not bluffing because he believes that.
You're very confident in yourself for a mortal. Why you sign this piece of garbage anyways? Anyone knows.
Oh, I don't even remember. It's like I had no choice or something.
Yes, it happened. It happened with DM point off screen because you wanted this crazy cohort that was.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
What are
a
the
tiefling is not a crazy cohort.
No, but the third party thing that allows you to grant all of those bonuses is all those aid bonuses. Yes. Also, building your own cohort is a thing that I kind of frown upon in general. But oh well.
Why you sign this piece of garbage?
God, you're stupid.
You should have thought that through, man.
A Vernodon, very powerful warrior, I guess.
I guess.
Hell's legions. His legions. Yeah, I am lucky imp. I am a contract imp. I am not one of those imp messengers that has to go out and risk his wings in the blood war.
Is it true that this brands his messages on the backs of imps, puts a leather jacket on them,
Oh,
and then if anyone other than the recipient takes that jacket off, the imp disintegrates?
no. Where you hear that?
Oh, I just heard that. It's in the book.
I have a brand.
Yeah, but you don't have a leather jacket,
Oh, okay, I'm safe then.
and you don't work for, this spider.
No, this Peter, he a great city builder. He a great mayor.
Yeah, so I hear.
Yeah. Great
Hey,
mayor.
this is the place to buy weapons.
I don't know much about that, but I imagine there are shops there are shops for almost everything in this great city.
Yeah, so I would like to go shopping here sometime.
Oh, that would be nice.
What's your name?
Imp.
Yeah, you have a name other than Imp, or do you have a number? Like 416.
Yeah, brand for Imp have number and serial number, and I have name.
I need a name for your old contract imp.
My old contract Imp can be named.
Snark.
Snark. There's a great name.
I am called Snark.
Well, Snark, it's a pleasure to meet you. I am Barnabus Darby, but I mean, you know that.
Yeah, you're very frightening for a mortal.
Yeah, I've learned how to. I've got my ways.
Hey, what are you doing in the closet?
I'm not in the closet. It's the stuff you're on.
Good thing you hid. they're gone now. They only take about 1 organ per nap time.
Okay, good. Barnabus will sense motive on that. 'Cause we are in hell.
Yeah, he seems to think so.
Okay, all right. So
How
Barnabus
could
will-
anybody of a good demeanor possibly end up here?
Yep.
Okay, you go back to your bed.
Yep.
Polly went.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, it's my tattoo. It's alive.
Yeah. Hello there.
Yeah, she's a little shy. That's not that far to hell, I don't think.
All right, the door is burst open. Apparently, nap time is up. There are a bunch of security guys that come busting into the emergency room. For whatever reason, they always seem to have their backs to you, and they always seem to be like talking into these earpieces or things. Like they're really busy or concerned about stuff that is going on, not within view.
Okay.
Just secure task mofos.
I love your what's his name, Mort.
Oh.
He's funny.
Now, is this Stew and Stew? Is this Stew of Stew and Stew, or is this the
This is stew number 3.
after Stew and Stew? Oh, this is
There is a palpable like orderliness that kind of wades into the room. You notice that the security guards are not looking at him, but they're definitely protecting him. The 2 imps that you had sent running are on a little chain that leads to that leads around their collars, and this man in a very beautiful business suit, he seems to be talking into something that is like 2 pieces of some shiny black material that he's like talking into. As he enters the room, he stops for a moment, like he's involved with a conversation that isn't around here. Sure. And I've got permission to do so. Excellent, sir. Won't let you down.
Okay, Barnabas is just sitting there, just eyes closed.
Yep. The security positions themselves around the room. There is a slight smell from the security that reminds you of the Cornugons that had appeared in the mortal realm as you when you first summoned up the gate. They might be devils in disguise. Mr. Darby.
Why? All right, you may begin.
The 2 of you can go to your perch now.
Yes, Mr. Stew.
The old contract turn visible when you turn visible.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Darby, it's a pleasure. He takes off this little glove and actually shakes your hand like with his skin.
Barnabas gives him a nod.
Okay. He has a very strong grip for a man the size of a halfling.
Oh no, he doesn't shake his hand. But
Oh, he doesn't shake his hand.
No.
What are we gonna do with you?
well, according to some sources, you're supposed to let the leech take over.
Well, none of us want that now, do we? Sure
Not
you don't.
particularly.
Let's just see. The Lich takes over. Hell is going to expunge him to back whence he came, and then you and your friends, the Steelrose Expeditionary League, can fight the Lich with
your skin suit on the outside. I'm sure that's not good for anyone, including your designs and, well, schemes upon the mortal realm.
Well, I think they can pull it off. They're quite good.
I don't doubt they're quite good. You've progressed quite far in a very short period of time, and hell hath noticed. Now, I understand that all's fair in love and war and, well, negotiations, but there is a bit of a ticking time bomb here.
Yeah. Would be gods about to burst out of me.
I have the legal authority to negotiate on Adrammalech's behalf. Might I introduce myself? I am Stu, of Stu, and Stu, Advocacy and Insurance. He smiles, and there's like a little flicker of flame in like the pupils of his eyes. Every one of the people that walked in, the security guards and Stu, this Stu, is wearing a magical disguise, Barnabus. You can see it.
So they are, I'm guessing by the smell of it, corny gods. And you are, can I tell what he is? By scent?
Give me a
really high...
give me a perception check to see if you can see through the disguise.
All right.
And I need to look up this guy's stats.
Yeah. Plus.
And Alt herself gives you what, +10, I think, to your disguise.
I believe so.
Okay.
I got a 37.
Okay, so this would be 20 plus 37. You got a 48 on his disguise check this morning.
Nice.
But he did. You know it's a disguise. You just can't see through it. But you know because he kind of let his eyes flare up a little bit.
Yeah.
You're guessing something fiery.
You are. I didn't know. It's a really good disguise. Kudos. Something fiery.
Yes, I'm rather partial to this guise, you know.
To each his own.
Mortality is a difficult thing to shake off. But I digress. I'm here to, well, advocate for you, but I'm also here to advocate for the Chancellor of Hell.
Interesting.
Very interesting. I said that so myself. Usually the Chancellor of Hell is buried so far in his record-keeping in his books and doing the dance that he needs to do to keep our Lord Asmodeus pleased. May the five-pointed star ever guide us to his grace.
No, all hail.
All hail. I found it very interesting that the Chancellor took quite an interest in you. But once I did a read of your brief, might I say congratulations. It's been a long time since we've had spontaneous rediscovery of blood theft. Such magical power actually does not belong to you, yet you found a way. You rediscovered a lost material that allows you to channel mythical energy into your form, and you survived the transformation because you figured out you needed a focus. Otherwise, your bodily form would have been ripped apart, and then this devil's contract would have kicked in.
Yeah, fun, eh?
Fun. Yes. I suppose it could be. Grabbing power like that. So, I can change one clause in your contract. What clause would you have me change?
Well, let's go with... Let's go with. Hang on, I'm looking for the. Let's go with the deaths.
What part of the death section?
Well, it's the limit of 3. Why should there be a limit? Why not just until I'm out of mythic to give?
Interesting.
I mean, long term, it's to his advantage.
Wouldn't it?
If anything, I'm doing him a favor.